This question comes from Maya, who asked, what would happen if every human suddenly gained the natural ability to fly, starting right now? But wait, what are you doing? Hey, don't climb that chair. Stop! He jumped. What? He's actually flying. Okay, the impossible just became normal. So let's break down what happens next. The first 5 minutes are chaos. People run outside, lift off the ground, and hover with zero skill, like confused balloons. Cars are abandoned mid-road, elevators become pointless, and the sky fills with roughly 8 billion untrained flyers. Air travel collapses in under 48 hours. A single commercial plane burns thousands of liters of fuel per flight, but now humans can travel freely using their own bodies. Airports turn into museums of old transportation. But here comes the science. Flying requires energy, a lot of it. For a human-sized body, staying airborne would require roughly 3 to 5 times more oxygen intake than walking. The average person burns around 70 to 100 calories per hour while walking, but flying could require around 600 to 1200 calories per hour, depending on distance, altitude, and wind resistance. Meaning, your stomach becomes your fuel tank. People start eating more high-energy foods, carbohydrates, sugars, fats, similar to marathon runners. Grocery stores can't keep up. Fast food becomes flight fuel. Rooftops turn into rest stations because muscles fatigue fast. But week 1? A disaster. Humans begin colliding mid-air. At even 20 to 30 kilometers per hour, hitting another person or object could cause bone fractures. Emergency rooms introduce a new category, aerial impact trauma. Falls from heights over 10 meters, about 3 floors, already carry a high fatality risk, and now millions are falling much higher. Governments act fast. New aviation laws appear. Altitude zones like 0 to 50 meters, beginner zone. 50 to 200 meters, travel lanes. 200 plus meters, restricted or high-risk zones. Flying licenses become mandatory. Air police are formed. But then comes the real enemy, weather physics. Air pressure decreases by about 12% every 1,000 meters of altitude. That means the higher you fly, the harder breathing becomes. Temperatures also drop roughly 6.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer upward, so at even modest heights, the air becomes freezing. Wind becomes a threat. A 30 kilometers per hour side gust can knock flyers completely off balance. Rain hits like tiny bullets, and hail? A nightmare. Nature reacts too. Birds rely on predictable airspace and migration corridors, now crowded by humans. Around 40% of bird species migrate, and many would face collapse. Pollination networks would break, affecting food production and entire ecosystems. Cities also evolve. Buildings begin adding landing pads, sky markets, floating walkways, and mid-air bridges. Property above 50 meters elevation becomes premium real estate. Ground-level living becomes cheaper because fewer people stay there. Economies shift fast. Delivery workers fly, doctors fly, soldiers fly. Warfare becomes unpredictable. Now attacks can come from any direction. Traditional air forces and tanks lose relevance. But the most fascinating change happens over generations. Children born into a flying civilization would begin adapting. 10 to 20% higher lung capacity, lighter bone density, stronger cardiovascular systems, more aerodynamic body posture. Evolution slowly shapes humans into sky-adapted organisms. 1,000 years later, walking may become something we teach in museums, not daily life. In the end, a world where humans can fly wouldn't just change how we move. It would rewrite biology, reshape cities, alter ecosystems, transform economies, and eventually redefine humanity itself. We wouldn't fall. We might never come back down. So hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell us your own what-if idea in the comments. Who knows, maybe your question will become our next video. And now, check out the next question waiting for you on the end screen.